I can prove it if you want. They don't believe that there's more than they believe there's only one Quran. They can't believe there's more than one Quran. There's more. We can. I don't mind. Yeah? I can give it to everyone.
Whatever king's done 100 years ago, you should not be fucking a 9-year-old girl. Point blank. But they don't have an answer for that. They don't have an answer. Good answer.
And he's not sons up. Some of them aren't really backed up. But he's okay.
Okay, fine. So we're going to give you. Alright? That's great. I want to tell you right now.
It's not 9 like 8.
Alright, I'm thinking I'm marking them up. Sure.
What it is back then.
I'm thinking of giving them marking.
This is good content here. If Islamic, if they reach the age of puberty, that is where someone's considered it differs depending on the age.
What's your name, my friends? Let's have a conversation about this.
Call me Isaac.
Isaac, hi, I'm David. Isaac, you have said that even back then, as long as somebody reaches the age of puberty, then it is okay to sleep with them.
It was considered that they were
okay. Now, is this correct?
Okay to sleep with them. In some countries,
so why did Muhammad sleep with her at that point?
Because I want to ask you this, yeah. In
so
European countries,
you're running
there's
away.
differences of opinion on whether someone is
so
actually
not worried about
European.
Hold on. Luckily, European countries are not the best example for all mankind. Now, you guys have to believe. Awesome. Let's do this. You guys have to believe that Muhammad is the best example for mankind, or the Ummah at least. Now, if the best example is performing an activity that, particularly in the ancient world, was the number one cause of high mortality, death in girls and women.
Can you prove that? Can you prove
yes.
Prove 1400 years ago.
1400 years ago.
In the ancient world, look it up anywhere you want, is even accessible on Google. In the ancient world, the number one cause of death for women was childbirth. Yeah. Why? Women don't go to war. They don't have access to fatty foods because everyone's eating bread and drinking wine or honey. The number one cause of death for women is childbirth. Now, here's what makes it even worse.
Are you against childbirth?
This, of course.
That's good.
Now, here's the worst thing. This is for women, right? Grown women. Hey, listen.
But that's because of complications.
Exactly. Now, imagine how much worse it is for somebody who is 9.
He's against childbirth. Why is it worse?
Now,
is that
somebody who is 9 years old. Listen, Isaac, listen very carefully to me.
Are you against childbirth in general?
So, obviously, as a Christian, I cannot be against childbirth, but here's the issue. I am against forcing young girls to engage in activities that can lead to them dying. So what Muhammad was doing could have led to Aisha dying. Because if she had gotten pregnant, her body is not capable of withstanding childbirth at 9.
Do you know?
Very simple. Now, in today's date, the age of periods in girls is actually getting smaller. So unfortunately, now people are having periods in America even at the age of 9. And
this is recent.
This is recent.
Yeah. Now, how recent is
hold
this?
on. This is recent. This is concerning because it's an issue with this. Having periods too early normally indicates some kind of problem with the actual person. Right? Now, the only reason this is possible is because of the abundance of calories and good diets that we have today. In places today that have poorer diets, people have periods later. So now, multiply this by the less amount of, listen, multiply this by the less amount of food, access to healthcare, and diet that you would have had in 14th century Arabia in the deserts. And it is highly unlikely that somebody who is 9 years old in that environment can go into puberty.
Can I say one thing? You made an assumption here that it's because of
the good diet that we have here. Many other scientific articles have focused on the fact that there's been preservatives and etc. that have caused this malformities and deformities in women and young children and young girls as well. Many.
Did you hear me say excess calories by any chance?
You mentioned excess calories, fine.
Good.
But I'm focusing on the fact that you stipulated, you made an assumption.
No, it's a problem here.
Please, let's not digress. What you said focused on specifically is about the diet as evidence to show that this is why they are actually having periods at a younger age, hence entering the state of puberty at a younger age. But that's on the assumption that this is due to the factor being good health, good diet, good calories. When it can be any other factors. It can be multiple.
It's not happening in, for example, small villages in Asia and Africa where people have access to poorer diets.
Okay, but they also have less access to processed foods with milk.
I just said this already.
So that's exactly my
point.
So that can be a factor.
Here's the issue. Your point isn't actually proving that it is okay to sleep with a 9-year-old 1,400 years ago, because by all metrics, she would have been severely underdeveloped.
So, by your standards, by your example, you're saying that as society progresses, as we're entering the modern era, what we're seeing is that the women tend to get periods at a younger age.
Well, girls, not women.
Okay, girls. They become. I mean, if they enter the,
technically, womanhood kind of happens at the end, not at the beginning.
Okay, that's fine. But my point is here, by you saying that, you're suggesting that in the past they became women or entered the state of puberty at an older age.
Absolutely.
Okay, but that's on the assumption that it's because of the good nutrition that we're getting now.
It literally is. It's the #1 factor.
But you don't know.
Guys, anybody here, literally,
if he wants me to answer the question
the information is so accessible. Simply Google #1 contributor to periods. #1, it's diet. If you're malnourished, you can't get into Sorry.
Sleeping with underage, what do you define as underage?
Somebody who is 9 years old, 400 years ago, severely malnourished and underdeveloped.
Wait. I want to ask you now.
One second. Wait. When Abu Bakr asked Muhammad if he could marry Fatima, what did he say? He said no, she's too young.
You made a point earlier, right?
It's the same point. I want you guys to justify this
Wait.
movie.
I can't talk to two people at once. I'll talk to him because he made the point.
How do you guys
So you made the point.
Sniff them out. I'll be right back. I'm talking to these young boys about sleeping with young girls. And they're like, yeah, it's okay. It's all good. It's all good. As long as you're it's all good.
When Abu Bakr asked Muhammad to marry Fatima,
none of you guys have given me an answer, by the way.
Muhammad said, no, she's too young.
The question is, are you able to justify the idea that the best example that you have slept with somebody who, by all counts, might have died, very likely, if he got her pregnant?
Very likely.
He said she'd rather her marry someone her own age. So why?
And she has the body.
So
how
why
do you
that
gauge
principle
this?
and not marry
Because he wanted to give his to someone who he had in mind, whom she wanted to marry as well. She wanted to marry Ali. She wanted to. So the concept that you're bringing up here is the concept of freedom on her end and that she's not forced. This is evidence to show that they're not forced.
Abu Bakr asked to marry Fatima, and Muhammad said no, she is too young.
Why? Because she wanted to marry Ali.
But Aisha wasn't too young for him.
But what this shows there is that
the problem here, can you justify the idea that the best example for mankind engaged in behavior that was dangerous for a girl at that stage in her life? And if he truly was the best example, he would have done the correct thing and potentially adopted her, or at least waited until she was actually a woman before he engaged in activity with her.
Can you objectively prove that it was harmful for her?
Okay.
You're making these absurd claims.
Okay. So now, an absurd claim for you is that sleeping with a 9-year-old is wrong. So for you, that's absurd. Okay. So the claim I made now was that the activity will lead to her death. Is that an absurd claim for you?
Yes. Where's your proof?
Not 9. Ideally, they should be. Listen very carefully. Ideally, they should wait until the end of puberty in order to engage activity.
Age, tell me. Age, how much is that?
At least past the age of 16 in the ancient world. At least past the age of 16. It's not about deciding.
Only because you're saying.
It's not about deciding.
Why
it's about what the
16?
average is.
Why 16?
So again, now,
wrong,
sorry, my friend, are you okay with sleeping with a 9-year-old? Are you okay, my friend, with sleeping with a 9-year-old?
If she is ready for action, I don't mind.
Yes.
If she is ready for action, if she's
Awesome,
mentioned.
awesome. Thank you.
What's
So,
the problem?
my friend, you are a pedophile. You are a
Who
pedophile
decides that?
sympathizer.
Who decides that?
And what you're doing is inherently
Who decides
wrong.
that?
Who decides that?
Who decides that?
Very simple.
Here it's 18, right?
No,
It's 16.
you've just
in
said
other countries
that if
it's
a
12.
9-year-old is ready.
In different countries it's 18,
And they're
right?
wrong. I want you to please justify for me how a 9-year-old can be ready for sex, please.
No,
Go
I'm
ahead,
saying
please.
here it's 16,
No, no,
right?
no.
In this country
That's
it's
not
16.
what you said. You said if she's 9 and ready for
I'm
action,
saying
let's go. Please
it is
define to me
16
how
here,
a
right?
9-year-old can be ready for action. Go
It
for
is 16 here.
I am
right?
waiting for you to justify
Let me
your earlier
speak.
statement.
It's 16
no,
here.
No. Justify how a
I was
9-year-old can
asking
be
you
ready
what's
for
the
action.
age?
Go for it.
What's the age?
Again, I gave
What
you an
should be the
answer,
age and who
you
decides
just
that?
told
You did
me
not.
That if a 9-year-old is ready for action, that's
So
okay.
if 9-year-old
Please tell me how that's okay.
How is it not okay? Because it causes harm?
Again.
Our claim is if it causes harm,
Who
it's
decides
not
that
allowed.
age?
Okay, now, as I told you, in the ancient world, if you are marrying somebody and having sex with them and they are too old or too young, you are causing only the severe complications.
Islamically, if it causes harm, it's forbidden.
Now, here's the issue. How would Muhammad even know this? Was he a doctor?
We're saying that Islamically, if it causes harm, it's forbidden.
Okay, now, you wouldn't know this until the aftermath. So, for example, I put this to you. Why did Aisha have no kids?
Why did she what?
Why did she have no kids?
I don't know.
Do you know that unfortunately, one of the elements of sleeping with somebody who is prepubescent is that you can actually destroy their ability to have children?
Or maybe they just didn't want to have children.
No, I don't think Muhammad had kids with a few of his wives and just said, Aisha, no, don't worry about it. We'll have kids.
Why does he have to have a wife?
Huh?
You're saying that it's bad because it causes harm. We're saying that if it causes harm, it's
again,
forbidden.
but here's the problem. I am telling you that you cannot decide if it causes harm beforehand, but actually
he's
in
not-
the aftermath, you can see
It's
how
not
it
him.
falls.
It's not like me or you.
Nobody can decide it for you.
No,
Even 16.
you can decide if
No,
somebody's
you
at the
cannot.
end. But don't forget, I remember every. But you just said, my friend, and I will hold you on this. As
I am
long
telling
as
you
we
who
are ready
decides
for
that.
action. You have said that you
If
would
she
have
is-
sex with a 9-year-old
if she has
if they're ready
periods,
for action.
she won't. I know.
Right?
Not gonna answer you.
I know he won't.
Again, I asked the question.
We meet him
Explain
every
to
Sunday.
me what that
He
means.
does not answer.
I am not
It's a
diverting. I am
monologue
having
all
two
the time.
conversations.
Oh, sex 9-year-old bad, sex 9. You're gonna keep saying that
Is
over and
it,
over
is it good?
again.
Is it good?
It's a
Is
monologue.
it
We're
good?
saying that the age
All
of
the time.
Is it
It's a
good?
monologue every
in
Sunday.
Islam, if
He
it
does not
causes
listen.
harm, it's forbidden. If you reach puberty, you're mentally
Alright.
mature, you're physically
Okay.
mature,
Right.
and there's no harm in the marriage, so
Okay,
it's fine.
now, please tell me or detail to me how you determine these things.
How you
They're
determine
asking
what?
you.
How do you
didn't write
determine
that.
if a 9-year-old is old enough
If they
and
reach
sleeping with
puberty,
her will not cause a harm?
listen, if they reach puberty, yeah, and they're mentally mature, and they're physically
How
mature.
do you determine those
Tell me
things?
what exactly. Tell me what exactly.
I am still waiting.
He
You're-
said
you're-
he said
you're-
16.
You're just
How
saying
does
he determine
things. You're
16?
saying things. I would like you to please determine for me how in the 7th
Can you
century...
specify a bit more?
Absolutely. Determine for me the criteria by which in the 7th century you can determine if a 9-year-old is physically and mentally mature. Please tell me that.
I'll tell you, the way it was done back then is who was responsible for giving away their daughter? It was the father, the one who's raised them. So the father would see whether or not his
Using
daughter.
what criteria?
Let me finish. You had your time.
Using what criteria?
I'll tell you, the father has raised his daughter. He knows his daughter inside out. He knows everything about
How does he know her inside out?
He knows if she's
Making it weird.
so if you raise your daughter, you don't know anything about your daughter?
So-
Or would you know when your daughter becomes mature?
Simply
Yes, you would.
raising a daughter.
You would
For
know when
example,
your children become mature.
example,
So he knew. Well, let me,
As
let
a
me
man,
finish. Wait,
I can potentially tell my son what
You're
it's
not
like to
letting me
mature,
finish. You're not
but
letting me
I don't know
finish.
what a woman experiences as she matures.
can't-
So
you
how would
can't-
I be able to judge that
You
for
can't.
a girl?
Well, maybe you're a crap dad, so you wouldn't know. But dads,
Can you please
dads
tell
that
me-
raise their daughters
okay.
and they raise their sons, they
Using
know
what criteria?
They know whether or not.
Puberty, she has a period, she grows, her breasts come out, you can see, you can tell. She has pubic hair.
Did Aisha have breasts before she was married to Muhammad?
It depends what you mean by marriage. The consummation of the marriage or the marriage itself?
Consummation, she had breasts.
The consummation, she would have had breasts because she reached puberty.
Can you please show me that in any of your
Can you show us?
Okay, so you're making an assumption. Great job.
You be making assumptions this whole time, so let's not play
no,
that game.
I've
yeah?
made no assumption.
I'll tell you
I am
what you
asking
made.
you
No,
guys
no, no.
to tell me the criteria.
you
Tell me
made-
the criteria by
Wait,
which
wait,
you
no,
determine if somebody is physically and mentally mature. The criteria, please.
Like I said, the father who's raised his daughter knows when she becomes mature.
And please tell me the
Simple,
criteria.
simple.
No. Tell me the
It's
criteria.
that simple.
Tell me the criteria.
If you
please.
raise a child,
okay,
you know at
so
what point they become
between
mature.
all of you, there's no
Simple.
criteria.
That is the
You're
criteria.
just making. What is it?
What, for what? You have to reach puberty, there's no harm in the marriage, you're mentally and physically mature.
How do you prove mental and physical maturity? Please tell me that.
How do you prove it now?
Oh, you can just tell.
Wait, how do you prove? How do you prove mental maturity now?
Okay.
You can see a kid that knows he's not mature.
So, the standards I would apply in today's context that you guys don't have a 7th century context is the number one for mental maturity. In today's context, people in this country have to go to school to at least the age of 16. Now, when they go to school, they go through a curriculum. At the end of that curriculum, they should have at least a basic foundation for logic and critical thinking, as well as maths and science skills. Right? Hold on. I am giving you the criteria that we have in this one today, and I want you to do something for me in the 7th century.
This is your criteria.
Now, hold on. This is the criteria that I'm judging by, right?
Okay, so it's subjective then.
No, it's not subjective.
It is subjective.
It's the criteria that we have today. Now,
If you look at, sorry, but what is your criteria? That's what he's asking.
they don't have.
I'm telling you, look at people who live in tribes. Can you say they're not mature? I've already answered it. The criteria is the parents raise their children. They know when their children become mature. But well, why is it different? Criteria here is subjective.
Marriage and they reach puberty.
1 second.
1 second. It's about child marriage.
Okay, so no.
Yeah, you can tell, right?
Exactly.
You can tell when somebody's mentally mature.
Yeah, so what I'm saying is how do you
Because they're ever given by 9-year-olds.
how do you prove it? How do you prove it that someone's mentally mature?
Again,
That's
see?
not a proof. You
No,
can't
no,
open up.
see, it's a
there's
criteria.
One second.
So
Many people go through that
are not
curriculum.
proofs, they're conditions.
Many people
right?
go through the school curriculum and they're
So
still not mature.
criteria are not
So
proof,
your
they
criteria
are
is
conditions.
failure. There's
But
loads
you
of people
have
that
no
don't go
criteria
through the curriculum
because
and
all
they're
you're
mature.
doing is
So your
hoping that a
criteria
father
is a
can
failed
tell when
criteria.
their 6-year-old daughter is ready to marry a man
Doesn't make sense.
who's 54.
So are you,
That's the issue.
your criteria is a
No
school
one listens,
curriculum.
it's up to you.
No,
We told you.
you
They
stated
reach
things.
puberty and there's no harm in the
No, but
marriage.
what's your criteria? What's your criteria? It's subjective. How do you objectively prove your
I
criteria?
told you, the criteria is this. When you were 16 years old, at least in this country, you're determined to go to school.
Right.
Now, by 16 years old, from what you've covered in the basic curriculum, you should be able to at least think critically.
I said, how do you prove? I didn't say should.
Now,
you're making assumptions now.
Can
I said, how do you
Aisha,
prove?
can you prove
no,
any of that for
How do you
Aisha?
prove they're mature?
Are you able to
I asked
suggest
a
to me
simple question.
reasons
How do you
why
prove?
Aisha,
You're making an
at 6
assumption
years
that they
old,
should be
would have
mature.
been able to think critically?
So how do you prove that
Does
they're
she
mature?
have a formal education?
Simple question. How do they? Okay, so you're saying, wait, Anas.
Okay,
so
awesome.
you're saying,
so Muhammad, for example, wasn't married off when he was 6. Right? Somehow it was okay for Muhammad to go through puberty and be a fully mature man before he was married.
What does the age he was married that matter?
Because for some reason, in his example and in the example of all the males in the Sahaba, none were married at 6. Why is this?
So you're trying to make the claim that the Prophet thought
So
he was immoral.
it would appear.
So
effectively,
you're skipping topics.
no. I'm not jumping topics. I am on the same topic of child marriage. I'm talking to you both. All the males in the Sahaba, 0 of them were married at 6. They were all married as fully grown men. Why were they given the opportunity? Which Sahaba? Tell me just one married at 6. One.
It was the daughter of Kulthum.
I said male.
Male.
Give me one example of one male Sahaba. I'll even give you the Tabi'in and the Tabi'in. How you doing?
Nothing comes to mind.
Child marriage. Oh, awesome job.
Anyways.
Okay.
Going back to the maturity.
Again.
No, we have to go back to that topic
We're
about
going in
mental
bits
maturity.
now. So,
Mental
none
maturity,
of the Sahaba, the Tabi'in or the Tabi'in were married at 6 years old as males. They were allowed to mature fully before they became married. Now, why was Aisha not granted that same privilege?
What privilege?
The privilege of maturing fully before she got married.
Prove it. Prove she wasn't mature. Prove she wasn't mature.
Easily. Now, from what we know of the 7th century, from what we know of the 7th century, people, for example, if you go to St. Paul's Cathedral, if you've ever been there, you get to a point in the spire where you have doors. Now, the doors are for the workers who were constructing the top of the tower. The doors are this high. Right? Now, the lady sitting next to the door will tell you that this was the average height of a man in the 1500s, this high. Now, how big would a 6-year-old girl be in the desert in the 700s?
Okay. So what does height have to do with mental maturity? Where's the correlation?
Physical maturity is not there.
Where's the
So,
correlation between
Aisha,
height?
at the age
Wait,
of
wait.
6,
So because
at
someone's
the age
short,
of 9.
they're not physically mature?
Can I jump in a second?
Are you serious?
Wait,
Have
do
you
know
studied
how they
biology?
test mental maturity?
Just because someone's short, they're not mentally
wait,
mature
wait,
or
do you-
physically mature?
do you know how
Physical
they-
maturity, underdeveloped.
Short, so a short man is not physically mature.
That's not the case I made. I am comparing a man in the 1500s
Okay.
to a girl in
Right.
the 700s.
So what does
Can
the
you
height-
imagine the disparity
What does
in
the height have
development?
to do with physical
It's
maturity?
an indicator of development.
What does the height of a
It's
man
an
have to do with his
indicator
physical?
of development. I am not talking
What
about the
does
man.
his-
I am
what does-
comparing the man to the girl in the 7th
It's
century.
not. No. One second. His height has nothing to do with his physical.
I
You can
am
get a short
comparing,
man
I've said it
who's
3 times
physically
now.
mature. You can
I
get
am
a tall man who's
comparing a
physically
fully
mature.
grown man.
So you're,
I am
so you're-
comparing a
no,
fully
but
grown man to a girl in the 7th century.
Your point is invalid.
Really?
Yes, it
So
is.
if a man, a fully
Just
grown
because
man,
a man is short,
only
it doesn't
gets
mean
to
he's
this-
not physically
He
mature.
wasn't
What?
short. That was the average height at the time.
Okay, so if the average
Now
height was
imagine
short,
how worse it would
that
have
means you
been
weren't
in the
physically mature.
deserts in the 7th century.
Okay, one second,
So
one
Aisha
second.
would not have met the criteria to be physically mature until she was later in her
so
life.
your criteria,
maybe when Muhammad
one
even died.
second. Your criteria is because in the 15th century men were short. That means centuries before women must have not been
Even
mature.
shorter.
That make what?
And
Where is the
even tinier.
correlation?
Even
Where is
today,
the correlation
9-year-olds
between
aren't very
short men
large.
and physical
E-
maturity?
even
Shortness
today.
is determined by diet. If you have a poor diet, you are not going to physically mature quicker than someone in the
We're talking
modern
about
age.
a man. We're not talking about boys.
We're
here.
comparing
This
a man
applies
to
to
a
all
girl.
of
We're talking about men because you
a-
mentioned men.
A 9-year-old
A man
girl,
is someone that has
girl
reached
in
physical
Mecca
maturity.
does not have access to a wide diet. That means
man-
that she will be physically underdeveloped comparatively
No,
to a
not
9-year-old
true, not
today.
true.
What if she wasn't?
Not true.
You would need to give
Wait,
evidence
wait,
for
wait.
it.
If it wasn't, would it be moral? The absence of evidence, not the evidence of absence.
No,
It
I
still
do.
would
I
be
do not.
moral.
No, at the age of 9, you do not complete.
How do you know?
puberty.
And if it was, would it be moral?
His point
wait,
is
wait,
because
why not?
the
Wait, let me-
average
wait,
height
wait,
was
wait,
shorter.
wait.
That means they're not physically mature. Where did you get that from? That makes no sense. Just because so let's say the average height.
You're
in, one
missing the
second,
points.
The average height in East Asia is smaller than
You're
the UK.
missing
Does
the
that mean
points.
they're less physically
You're
mature than
missing
here?
the points.
That is your point.
You're missing the
That
points.
is your point. It makes
I
no
am
sense.
comparing
Your point
the
makes no
size
sense.
of a fully grown man
Right.
in the 15th century and having you consider the size of a prepubescent girl in the deserts in the 7th century.
Okay.
Is that somebody who any of you gentlemen will be comfortable engaging in sex with?
So firstly, height has nothing to do with physical maturity.
So would you be
get women
comfortable
nowadays at 4 foot
engaging
5
in sex
that are
with a
30, 40 years old, they're
7th
physically mature.
9-year-olds?
Height has nothing to
I
do
am
with
asking you
physical
a question
maturity.
in terms of maturity.
Okay, let me-
She would not have
No,
had
no, no.
wide enough hips.
It has
she
nothing
would not
to
have
do
had
with
a
it.
developed
It has
enough
nothing-
body
it's
to
an-
even
it
handle
can be an
childbearing.
indication.
And I put to you
No,
that
no,
the
it can
reason
be
why
an
she never had
indication, but it's
children
not
is
proof.
because Muhammad
It's not
ruined
proof.
her ability to
You're
have
making
children
claims.
by having sex with her
One
early.
second, you're
Don't
making
make
baseless
assumptions, you're making
claims.
assumptions.
It is
keep
a
making
valid,
assumptions.
it's a valid point.
Do you have
And
evidence
that's
she was
the-
this tall?
Huh?
You have evidence she was this tall?
Imagine only the height.
No, don't imagine. You have evidence,
Yes,
historical evidence.
yes.
Hadith, that she was this tall.
Comparatively,
Listen.
comparatively
There's a
with
hadith that
people
she's
of her
up to
time.
the-
You keep
shoulders
saying
of the Prophet.
comparative.
And how
There's a
tall?
hadith,
Okay, wait.
She's up to the shoulders of the Prophet.
Awesome. Now, okay, two things. Number one, how old was she at this point?
At what age? At the consummation?
No, when she was as high as Muhammad's shoulder.
I don't know, I can't talk.
Okay, fair enough. Now, how tall was Muhammad?
Slightly above average, between average, around average height. I think it's a
It's
hadith.
slightly above average, which is
above
around.
average.
What
5
is the average height of a male in the 7th century in the deserts?
170 something.
170 something. And you're getting this from where? Sorry.
I remember looking it up ages ago.
Okay, you're comparing it to what though? Because generally, when you get an average
No,
height,
forget about
you can
that,
compare it
forget
to, for
about
example,
that.
skeletons
No,
of
no,
people,
sorry,
right?
because you keep jumping from this topic to
I am on the same topic.
Let
to
me
do
ask
with
you a
development.
simple question.
I,
You
no,
made
no, no.
a claim.
You haven't answered my question
Look,
yet. You
you
said
made
that
a
there were
claim.
criteria for mental and physical maturity. I am still waiting for the criteria.
Where's your criteria? You
I
don't have
already gave
criteria.
it to you.
Okay,
I
so
gave it
this
to you
is-
already.
Just for those, his criteria for physical maturity
Mental.
is height, and his,
That's incorrect.
that's
not
what
I
you said. That's
not
literally what you said.
That's not what I
You
said.
said if someone's short, that means
Okay,
they're not physically
listen
mature.
again, people.
What are you talking
I will
about?
say this one more time.
Yeah,
In
physical
today's
maturity.
context,
Yes.
the way in which we gauge physical and mental maturity is by the following. Mental by schooling and physical by diets.
Okay, fine.
Now,
Great.
please
Great,
tell
great,
me
great, great.
what are
Let
the
me address those 2
characteristics
points. Wait.
that you would have
You said
to determine if
you
somebody
said-
in the
wait,
7th
wait, wait.
century was mature
Mental
mentally and physically.
maturity
Please,
by schooling.
tell me.
Okay, mental maturity by schooling.
No. That's not what
Let
the
me
Islamic-
address.
That's not
let me
Al-Qurtubi's
address.
opinion.
That's what he
Al-Qurtubi's
said.
opinion
That's what he
is
said.
to determine
I'm addressing
female
his.
maturity, it's how
I'm
well she
addressing.
handles having
I'm
other
addressing his point. That's what he said. I can't
That's
speak to
what
two
he
people.
said.
I can't speak to two people at once. I'm addressing his point. He said mental maturity is based on schooling. So the thousands, millions of people around the world that do not go through school, are you saying that they're not mentally mature?
In terms of being able to think critically and logically, no.
So everyone's a
Well, that's just one second. Wait, no.
No, not the case. Because, for example,
That's just a
Muhammad's
silly
first wife
claim.
was not 9; she was 40.
Because I can
So
assure
he was
you,
fine initially until
I
he
can
became
show you
so
there's
bad.
millions
Why does
of.
it matter?
So
Why does it matter? If she was
Because very clearly that would mean that she wasn't a child.
also the hadith where she was
So
40.
wait, man, you keep jumping topics, bro. You're saying all the
I'm waiting
millions
for
of
your criteria.
the millions of people around the world that didn't go through the UK schooling system, which you mentioned yet,
Or any at all.
till they're 16, are not mentally mature.
So
Is that what you're seriously saying?
In
Consider what
terms
you're
of
saying now.
critical thinking and logic, yes.
Well, that's a basis
That's
claim.
why, for example,
That's an assumption
for
you're
example,
making. That's a basis. Where's your proof?
where we both
Where's
come
your
from,
proof? No,
where we
no.
both come from, right?
Not
We
from
are
this
aware that
country.
there are people who grow up in the village, right? And we don't regard them as being intelligent for a particular reason. There you go.
Well, it depends what you define as intelligence now. Do you get it? If you want to go into
Their
that,
ability to think critically.
of course they
their
can think
ability to-
critically. Who said that?
No, not about
Where's your
everything.
proof that they
For-
can't?
For example, in both of where we
No,
come
no,
from,
wait,
in both of where we
wait.
come from, superstitions are very high in
That's fine.
villages compared to the city.
Superstitions exist in the UK.
Right, but
With
are they
people that
higher?
went through the schooling system, so it doesn't
Are
prove
they
anything.
higher in the villages or in the cities?
Who said? One second.
Where you come from and when I come from,
What
it's
does
the same story.
superstitions have to do with this?
Superstitions can often be very easily cast away if you can think logically.
It can be a belief.
and because
Yeah,
they
that's
lack
fine.
it, they aren't able to do so.
Well,
So again, these
well,
are my
that's-
criteria.
that's subjective.
Please tell me your criteria
Your
for the 7th
criteria
century.
is false.
Let me know
Your
how you
criteria is
determine them.
false.
Because every time I ask you, you cannot give me a conditional or a definitive way that you can judge
Okay,
physical
you're
and
not-
mental
one
maturity
second.
in 7th century Arabia.
You're not giving me
and
a
by the way, guys,
definitive way
it's
either.
okay for you to say it is wrong to sleep with a 9-year-old.
Wait.
That's a good answer too.
Don't respond. You haven't given me a definitive way. Okay, let me ask you a question. If someone hasn't
You haven't
gone,
answered my question.
Wait. If someone
so
hasn't
until
gone
you
through
answer
the
my
schooling
question,
system,
you're gonna stay
if
here,
someone
and
hasn't
I
gone
want you to
through
give me
the
the
schooling
criteria.
system, if someone hasn't
I
gone
am
through the
still
schooling
waiting for the
system,
criteria, gentlemen.
I'm addressing your criteria, which
You're
is
not
false.
addressing my criteria.
It's false.
You can address my criteria
It's not
after
definitive.
you give me yours. So give me your criteria,
Your criteria
and then you
is
can
not
come back
definitive.
and judge my criteria.
No,
I can
no,
judge
no,
yours.
no.
I am still waiting for a criteria from
I'll
you.
judge yours. I already gave mine earlier. I can give it again.
You gave
but I'm
me
addressing
two
your
conditions, but I want to know
criteria.
how those work.
Your criteria is not definitive. Is your criteria
I am
definitive? Yes or
waiting
no?
how those work,
Is
please.
your criteria definitive?
That is the way in which we judge it today. Now, I am waiting
But
for
who's
you to
we?
please tell
Who's
me
we?
the modern populace.
Who's we?
I am
The
waiting
modern populace.
for
Where's
you
the
to please
proof?
tell me what the criteria would
I
be
can
in the
ask
7th
everyone
century.
here. They're not going to give me the same.
How would define maturity, sir?
Absolutely. This is the schooling system of mental maturity and the
Come on, that's
conclusion
silly.
of age for physical
That
maturity.
is, you're making yourself sound like an idiot now.
So you're telling me, come on, man.
No, but
Again, okay, so if you're with these guys,
No, I'm not
please,
with them.
Okay, then
just
if you
listening to a debate.
cannot bring me a better
He's using his
criteria,
brain, No, I
then
don't
please
have a
stick over there.
better one. I'm not saying I've
There
got
you
a
go.
better one. I'm just saying-
Then don't
No,
tell
no,
me,
no,
come
no,
on,
no.
man, as
No,
if you
no,
disagree
no.
with what I'm saying.
No,
The
no,
fact
no.
is,
Now,
the
again,
fact is,
I
there's
am
no.
still waiting.
Because for me personally, I don't think either of
Would you marry a 9-year-old?
Absolutely not.
Amen, brother. Okay, cool.
Absolutely
Now,
And if I
here's the
had
issue,
a
guys.
9-year-old daughter, would you marry her
Don't
off?
run away
Well, I
from.
think
Don't
he
run away
would.
from his point and the point that I made.
He
There
didn't
is
have a
no-
point. He told me, come on, man. That was it. That's not a point. So again,
There is
in
no
the 7th
definitive
century,
way to
what
prove
is
mental
your
maturity.
criteria for mental and physical maturity
There is no definitive
in the 7th
way.
century? I'm waiting
There
for
is
you.
no definitive.
I
There's
am
no
waiting for
objective
you.
way.
Okay, great. So you don't have one.
Do you have an
Perfect.
objective?
Okay.
No, we have a
Now,
way. But just
what
because
is
you
it?
disagree
What
with
is
it doesn't
Tell
mean
me
it's
your way,
wrong.
please. Tell me your way.
Like I said, in that time, or even in today's time, if the parent who's raised their child believes that their child is mature, then he's able to give them away from marriage.
Okay,
Simple.
so your criteria is how a parent feels about their child
not-
being able to be married.
No, it's not just feelings.
That's the
though, is it?
criteria.
It's not just feelings.
Okay, so Abu Bakr, please tell me what rigorous test he ran on Aisha to determine that at the age of 6 she could be married.
Wait, 1 second. Who mentioned rigorous test?
Again, you said that the parents
You said
don't
the rigorous
use a
test
random
is the
criteria.
criteria.
Please
Who
tell
said,
me the
I never mentioned
criteria they
rigorous
use.
test. I never mentioned rigorous
I
test.
want to know what they use, please.
Who mentioned rigorous test first?
I
Where did you
want
get that
to
word
know
from?
what they use.
Where did you get rigorous test from?
Again,
Are
you
putting
keep
words in my mouth?
you keep
Yes, you
running
are.
from my points,
And
and
you're
you're
not
not
going to do
quite
that. I'm not
telling
gonna let
me
you put
what
words
it is
in
that
my
they're
mouth.
using.
So like
You've
I
told
said-
me that the parents can determine, but how? The how is what you keep
You
running away
haven't told
from.
me how.
Again,
Your way
I
is
did
not
not tell
definitive
I did
either.
not tell you
So
that
we're just-
parents get to ad
if you
hoc
wanna play
decide
that game,
when
then we're
their
just
children can
as
get married.
bad as each
That's not
other.
my criteria. My criteria, again,
His
I
cri-
told you,
his
is the
criteria
criteria
is the schooling
of the
system,
general
really?
modern populace.
So for
Now,
that, it's not-
when it comes to
where's
you,
the proof?
what is
Bring
your
me a single
criteria?
scientific article
What
that
is
says
your
that.
criteria for the
Bring
7th
me-
century
wait.
in
Bring me
order for a
single
man
scientific
to determine that his
article
daughter can get
that
married?
says that the schooling system is a criteria for mental maturity. Bring me a single scientific article that says that, and then we'll look into your claim.
So now you're looking at science as a basis.
No, but that's your basis.
No, I didn't say science was my basis.
Okay, so
right?
bring me any basis.
I
Bring me any
told
basis.
you,
You're making
I
an
told you,
assumption
I
that
am waiting for
you
you.
made a claim
I
that
will
the
not let you
general
run from
populace
this.
makes this
I am
claim,
waiting for
but
you
the
to
brother over
give me
here
the
disagrees with
criteria.
you.
He didn't
And
really
I'm sure-
raise a point.
I'm sure if
And
we
by the
ask
way,
most of the
he also
people, they will
disagreed with
disagree
you
with
around the idea that you can marry a 9-year-old.
We don't care about
So
that.
now, all right,
We
okay.
don't care about that.
That's how it works.
Because we weren't
So
addressing
my
that
friend,
issue.
what you're
We were
doing is
addressing your
fallacious,
issue.
right?
No, what you're
You're
doing is
pointing to
fallacious.
him. Okay,
Because you're ignoring-
what fallacy am I doing? Tell me the name of it.
Okay, I'll tell you.
Tell me the name.
I'll tell you. Sorry, what was that?
Tell me the name of the fallacy I'm committing.
Sorry, say
You
that again.
said what I'm doing is fallacious. Fallacies
no,
have
no.
names. Tell me the name of the
Look,
fallacy I'm
look,
committing.
look,
Because I can tell you what you're committing if you want.
You're using double standards here, and it's not.
Is that a fallacy?
I never said it was. I'm
Okay,
saying that's what's
so
happening.
again,
You're
going
using
back,
double standards.
what is the criteria for a 7th
have double
century
standards.
man to decide if his
What is the
6-year-old daughter
criteria in
can
the
get married?
21st century? What's the criteria?
I gave it to you 8 times and I'm waiting for you to give me yours.
That's not
I am
objective.
going to keep harping
Your
away at this.
criteria is not objective.
Tell me the criteria
You can't
in the
use
7th century
Listen,
for a man to
you can't use
determine
debate
if his
tactics against
6-year-old
me, it's not
daughter
gonna
is
work,
married.
yeah? Your debate tactics.
Tell me the criteria
You
in
give
the
me the
7th
criteria.
century
You give
for
me
a
your
man to
objective
determine
criteria.
if his
How
6-year-old
can you
daughter
say-
is marriageable.
How can you say that the schooling system is the objective
I am
and
waiting
definitive
for your
criteria for
criteria.
mental maturity?
I am
Meaning
waiting
to
for
say
your
the millions
criteria.
and billions of people around the world that haven't gone
I
through the
am
schooling
waiting
system
for your criteria.
are not mentally mature?
I am
That
waiting
makes
for your
no
criteria.
sense. That makes no sense
I
at
am
all.
waiting
Come
for your
on.
criteria for the 7th
Let's
century,
not
please.
do that.
Where is your 7th century
You're making
criteria?
yourself look like an idiot now. Let's not
Okay,
do that.
but you are the one who is okay with marrying children. So I
never
would
said
say, my
that. I
friend,
never
you
said
are the
that.
greatest idiot I've
Where
ever
did I
met.
say that? Where did I say that?
Okay.
Where
awesome.
did I say that?
Awesome.
You're putting words
so,
in my mouth
okay.
again.
My
Now you're
apologies.
running to a different
My
topic.
apologies.
First we're
Are
talking
you
about
not
mental maturity,
okay with
now you're
marrying
talking
children?
about children.
Hey,
Let's
are
not-
you
no,
not
no, no,
okay
let's
with marrying
not-
children?
Let's not jump topics.
Are you not
I know
okay
you
with
can't
marrying
address
children?
my point, but let's not jump
You didn't
topics.
address mine.
Let's
That's
not-
my issue.
I
Are
addressed
you not
yours.
okay with marrying children?
I gave you the criteria.
You didn't give me the criteria because
gave
all you
criteria.
told
I
me
gave you
was
the
that a
criteria.
man could determine by knowing his daughter inside out.
Yeah.
Don't know what that means. That supposedly he would be
A man
able
has
to
raised
then
his
determine.
daughter over the years,
Okay.
and he knows when she goes from being immature to mature.
Okay,
Simple.
all right. Now, what are the determinants of this? Tell me some actions that a man would see in his daughter in the 7th century to determine that at 6 she can get married.
In terms of physical or mental. Or
Tell me both, please. That's what I've been asking you for the last 3 hours.
Physical is clearly bodily changes.
Okay.
Mental is obviously the way she thinks.
Okay.
That's what mental maturity is.
Okay. Bodily changes in how she thinks.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, are you
How she
able to
reacts
please?
to certain situations, these are
Awesome.
all part of
Awesome.
maturity, yeah?
Which one of those did Abu Bakr use to determine if I should get married at 6?
Well, clearly both, because he's.
Well, you raised 3, no, not 2.
Well, clearly all of them, since he determined that she was ready to get married.
Right.
Where's the proof that he didn't? That she wasn't. she
So
didn't have any of
you're
these?
familiar with the hadith that when Muhammad first proposes this, Abu Bakr says, no, we're brothers. Implying that for some reason, he wasn't comfortable with the idea of him being able to marry his 6-year-old daughter
now
to
you're
a
going to a
man
different point.
post 54.
So first
So
we went
you're
from
claiming that he
mental
was
maturity-
okay, but in the
First
very
we went-
beginning, according to your hadith, it
You've gone
doesn't
to
claim that
three
he
different
was.
topics in the space of
So
10
I'm
minutes.
still waiting for you to
We went
please show me
from- we went
how Abu
from
Bakr observed
determining
bodily
mental
changes,
maturity
observed changes in the way that she
child
thought,
marriage,
and
and
observed
now to
changes
Abu
in the
Bakr.
way
What?
that she reasoned.
Stick to one point.
Show me how
I know
Abu
you
Bakr
like to
saw
run away
things.
from different points because you can't address
I am
them.
on the same point. Again, I narrowed you down to
changed topics 3
criteria.
times now.
I have not.
Stick to mental maturity.
I narrowed you down to criteria. So
You
you
told me
said
how
that
you
Abu Bakr
objective-
saw
you proved
bodily
in an
changes in
objective way
Aisha.
mental
Then he also
maturity.
saw changes in the way she thought and how she reasoned. Please provide evidence for these 3, please.
Have you heard of the Gillick competence test?
Sorry?
Have you heard of the Gillick competence test?
It wasn't available to Abu Bakr in the 7th century.
No, but have you heard of it?
I have heard of a competence test by which you can determine if, for example, a child can think rationally, right? But this was not available to Abu Bakr in the 7th century. So that's the issue. Can you prove that Abu Bakr used some kind of standard similar to that?
They use this, right, to determine whether a child can go through with medical treatment without the consent of an adult, right? This is what they use. Are they just following Ali Dawah?
Ali Dawah said once that one Muslim,
matter what he says.
he said
They
once
can
that
just
one
debate.
Muslim
Talking to him,
can
not to
handle
him.
100 Christians. So that's what's happening.
Yeah.
He's one Muslim, and there's about 20 Christians, so he can handle them. He's got it.
Look, we're not gonna get anywhere until you.
No.
Because you have double standards in
need
this
to please
conversation.
determine the
You have to be
standards.
consistent.
I'm waiting for you.
You haven't determined your standards.
I gave you my standards already.
Yeah, so I disagree.
Now I am
Now
waiting.
what?
Okay.
That man
so
disagreed.
The
Many people disagree.
man didn't disagree.
There you go.
He didn't
He
disagree.
did.
He agreed that you can't marry 9-year-olds, and you agree you can.
No, he
so
disagreed
that's the
with
issue.
your standard for mental
He
maturity.
didn't. He simply said, "Come on, man." That was it.
Okay, fine. If we ask the people here, do you believe just because someone hasn't gone through school, they're not mentally mature?
I am still waiting for you.
Because someone.
Are
okay, let me ask
you
you
going to give
if
me the
someone hasn't
criteria?
gone through school, does that
You're
mean
repeating
they're not
yourself.
mentally mature?
I am waiting
Yes or
for
no?
you to give me the criteria, please.
Yeah. Does that mean they're not mentally mature?
I use that as a determiner. I'm still waiting for you.
They come out dunce.
There you go. Even if they come out of school, in fact, most of the children that come out of school are not mentally mature.
It's the opposite.
So what are you talking about? Have you not gone through school yourself?
I am waiting for
educated?
you
Do you have any
to
education?
please tell me
Clearly not,
the
because someone who's
criteria
educated
to
will
be
know
able to
that
marry
most- come on.
a 6-year-old in the 7th century based upon the father observing physical changes, changes in thinking, and changes in nationality. You stated these 3 conditions. Please justify each of them for Aisha, please.
Like I said, there's no way of.
Justify
on your
them
side
for Aisha,
and my
please.
side, we can't prove
Justify
object-
them
in
for
an objective
Aisha,
way
please.
Mental maturity.
Justify them for Aisha, please.
Come on.
Tell me
We're not gonna get
anything
anywhere.
in your
We're not
hadith,
gonna get anywhere.
in your seerah, in the Quran that tells me that Aisha at 6 years old had enough physical changes in
6,
her
9,
to
because
no,
that's when-
she was married at 6.
Yeah,
Again,
do you know what marriage is?
she was married at 6.
Do you know what an Islamic marriage
That
is?
is the issue.
What is an Islamic marriage?
She was married at 6.
What is an
now,
Islamic
please
marriage? What
tell
does that
me.
mean? 1 second.
For example,
Married at 6, what does that
for
mean?
example,
Tell me.
did Muhammad ask Abu Bakr
Answer the
for
question.
permission
You said she married at 6.
before
What
he
does that
slept
mean?
with her?
What does that mean?
He
What
did
does
not.
married at 6
So
mean?
now,
What
from
does
the
married at
ages of
6 mean?
6,
See, you're
Muhammad
not
is
answering
now
my question.
free
No point. Come on,
to
come on.
experiment with
We're
Aisha
not gonna get
until he
anywhere.
can
We're
eventually
not gonna get
penetrate her.
anywhere.
He doesn't have to ask her for permission, right? That's the issue. It doesn't matter if I don't care if an Islamic marriage is a magical spell.
If you make a
That's
claim,
not
you
my
have to back
point.
it up. You can't run away.
Again,
You
she
can't
was
run away.
married at 6,
You're not
and
gonna run
Muhammad
away.
would
What does
not
that mean,
need
married at
to
6?
go and ask Abu Bakr for permission before he had sex with her, right? He wouldn't need to. So her being married at 6 gives Muhammad license to begin
And you're saying he
trying
doesn't need the
to have
father's
sex with
permission?
her. To have sex with her, no. After the marriage,
Are you sure
no.
about that?
Yes, I am
sure
sure
about
about
that.
that.
So how do
If
you-
you're unsure
what-
about that, please
What does,
bring
what
me
does
a
married at
hadith.
6 mean?
Please
What
bring
does
me a
married at
hadith.
6 mean?
Again, please bring me a
Why can't you
hadith.
just like definitions. What do you
The
mean by marriage? What do
definition
you mean
of
by
marriage here is not important
Does it mean
Why is it
because
not
it
important?
does not
It's not
point.
important because you don't know.
The criteria changes.
It
It's not
does-
important because you
But
do not
here's
know.
the issue: you must ask for permission first to get married, but not permission to consummate. That's the difference.
Consummation.
That's
happens when
why-
they're of age. They can consummate the marriage.
Now,
The contract is- it doesn't matter.
here's the problem. How do you find out
No,
they're
he
ready?
doesn't know what it means. He's
Brother,
making these absurd
how do you
claims
find
without
out they're
knowing
ready?
what they mean. When I ask you what they mean,
You have to
say it
experiment
doesn't
with
matter.
Reach
it.
their period, they have pubic hair, you can see physical
Right.
maturity.
So
they're
what-
mentally mature.
Well, no. So you're saying that Muhammad observed Aisha from 6 to 9.
Abu
Suddenly,
Bakr, no, Abu Bakr.
okay. Suddenly at 9 years old, she had a period and had pubic
Might have
hair.
reached it earlier.
Okay, at 8.5, she had a period and pubic hair, according to you. But you have
reached physical
no
maturity.
Yes for that.
Yes, we do.
Which one?
You have no.
Bring it
one
up.
second.
No. My friend, I am here all day. Bring me a hadith that tells me at 8.5 years old, Aisha had pubic hair and a period.
Bring me a wait. Bring me a hadith
Bring
that
me
says
a
she was
hadith
immature.
That's at 9.
Bring me a hadith that says she was not mentally mature or physically mature.
Here are the issues with Aisha. So number one, we know that she was playing with dolls.
Oh, she's playing
right?
with dolls.
does
Now,
that matter, though?
here's the thing.
So what that
They didn't have
grown women have Barbie dolls and they collect Barbie
here's
dolls.
the thing.
Grown men
Islam-
collect dolls as
here's
well.
the issue.
And they collect different
Islam
figurines.
is an
Grown men collect
iconoclast
figurines
religion.
and grown women collect
Again,
Barbie dolls. That means
Islam
they-
is iconoclast.
You're not bringing-
Do you know
you're
what
not
that
bringing
is?
definitive
That's fine.
proof.
Again,
You're making
here is the
assumptions.
issue. Within
You're making
Islam,
assumptions.
you cannot have figures
Yes,
in your house, right?
You keep making
now,
assumptions.
dolls are figures. Exactly. That means that if she was doing it, she wasn't grown, she was a child. Thank you for proving my points. Your friend proved my points. So,
Look, I don't know
dolls
what you're
figures are allowed for children,
Men
but not
nowadays
for
collect
large
figurines.
women.
Women nowadays collect
are
Barbie dolls.
Muslim
Does that mean they're
men
not mature?
allowed
Does that mean
to
they're
have
not mature?
figurines in their house?
Does that mean
Are
they're mature?
Muslim men allowed to have figurines in their house?
What does
Yea or
that have to do
nay?
with
Because
conversation?
Islam is an
What are you talking
iconoclast
about?
religion.
keep
Islam
jumping, you keep
hates
jumping, you keep
idols and
jumping.
icons.
We're talking
Therefore,
about
if
maturity.
Aisha was a
We're
fully grown
talking about
woman,
maturity.
Muhammad would not have allowed
What
her
does
to
collecting
have dolls in
what
her
does-
house.
what does
That's
collecting
the
dolls
issue.
have to do with
now,
maturity?
here's the issue. That
told
is
you
why
grown men collect
Aisha
figurines,
was
grown women
not
collect Barbie
fully
dolls.
matured.
That's
She
your
was
assumption.
still a girl.
That's a
now,
baseless
my point
assumption.
still remains.
That's a baseless
If she was
assumption
6
you
years
make.
old,
Don't
how
respond
did
to me.
Muhammad Abu Bakr determine that she
Talk
was
to me,
ready
talk to me. Don't worry
for...
about him.
Oh, really?
He's young.
Age of same age?
He's young. No, I'm older.
I
than him,
answer you
don't worry.
both. I answer you both.
don't
Again,
worry.
you raised a
Talk to
very
me.
good point. It's different
Talk
for
to me.
girls or
He's young,
children.
he's young, he's
You
young.
were thinking. Now you're
He
putting
takes it back. He
blinders
takes
on.
it back. He's young.
Really? Okay,
He's young,
well,
don't
I
worry.
say you were thinking just then. Because you know full
Why do you have
well
to run to
that
him?
as a grown
You can't
man,
address my
I
points.
can address you, but don't worry
No,
about it.
address me.
Okay, now, to answer your question again,
Anas,
as a
Anas,
grown
tell him to
man,
address me.
Anas,
Anas, have
as
this
a grown
conversation.
man, can you have dolls or figurines in your house as a Muslim?
If I recall correctly,
Nay.
This thing is, we can get to that point later. No, we can get to that point later. We can get to that point later.
She had dolls. That came after the ruling was
In the
different timing.
1800s,
Really?
the age of consent.
How do you,
What was the age of consent
prove
in the
this?
1800s? 9 years old. Which proves, yeah, it was in America. In America in the 1800s, it was 9. In some states, it was 9.
So then,
18 in 1800s.
The ruling came after when, sorry? What age?
There were states in America. What are you talking about? 1800s.
Okay, so
Google it.
she could have
Some
had
states
dolls,
had
for
the age
example,
consent of 9.
at 5.
Right now, some
Right? And
countries have the
6,
age consent of 12,
and 7,
which
and
proves
8,
that it's not an objective
and 9,
thing.
right? Since you don't have any
Different-
criteria
different
to
environments,
suggest when she
different
stopped
times.
having dolls, but we know it was
Look,
after
different times,
she was
different
married.
environments
This
mean that people
indicates to
mature
us
at different
that
ages.
she was still of
A
the
person
age
that's in the
when she
UK, a
wouldn't be
kid
held
at 16,
accountable
is
for
not going to
having
mature at the
dolls
same level
because
as
she
a
had
kid
dolls.
that's 13
So she
in
was at the
Pakistan that's
age
been on the
when she wasn't
streets
accountable.
working to feed 5 of his family
No,
members.
you were thinking.
You're going to mature at totally different levels.
You were.
Environment has a big thing. Historically, it's proven that the age of consent has changed.
After when?
Even in the so-called West, where you have a moral high ground. It's changed.
So then after it would be forbidden. But
Do you
That's why a
even have
Western-
any hadith that
Someone
tells
can't
you
come with
that
their Western
Aisha
morals
stopped
and try to
playing with
apply it to
dolls?
today's day and age. 1400
To
years
determine
ago.
when the after
In the
stage was.
1800s,
Why do
the
we
age
need to know
consent
what
was 9 in some states.
Because you're claiming
It's
that this
inconsistent.
ruling was given after she had
Okay, but
dolls.
why does it matter
But
when
how?
she stopped playing with
Because we have no idea to tell when the after was. So if you tell me
why
it's
does it
after
matter?
she,
That's the point.
because
It
we
doesn't prove
need to
that she didn't
determine if truly she wasn't being held accountable for having dolls because of her age, which is my point.
Okay, wait, understand me, address the point.
That's the issue.
What was the point?
All right. What's the issue?
No, that's not. It's not.
Okay. Alrighty. So, your criteria, my friend. I am
criteria
still
is
waiting
false.
for you.
Your
You're
criteria is
telling me
false.
that a father can determine when his daughter is physically, mentally, and whatever, physically, mentally mature. And if Abu Bakr's case, he observed physical changes in Aisha. He observed changes in the way that she thought and how she reasoned. Please justify each of these with your sources, please.
Where's
What
your
physical change
You know,
did
from
Abu
the start
Bakr
of this
see?
conversation, you haven't brought a
What
single source
physical
to back up any
change
of your claims.
did Abu Bakr see?
Where's your sources to
What
say she was
physical
immature?
change did Abu Bakr
Where's your
see?
sources?
Her playing with dolls. What physical
Okay, so
change
if a grown
did
man,
Abu Bakr see?
so a lot of grown women nowadays collect Barbie dolls. Does that mean they're-
Muslim woman. Muslim woman.
What does that have to do?
Exactly.
We're talking about maturity.
No,
Whether they're Muslim or
Muslim
not
woman.
doesn't mean if they whether they're Muslim or
Aisha
not.
was
We're
a
talking about
Muslim.
maturity. We're
Muslims
talking
are
about
not allowed
maturity.
to have
We're
dolls.
talking about
That's the
maturity.
issue.
We're
Beyond
talking
a
about
certain
maturity,
age.
not religion here.
Exactly.
We're talking about
No.
maturity
Because
Because
her
so if a
religion
grown
would not have
woman-
allowed her
if
to
a grown
have
woman
dolls.
collects Barbie
So,
dolls, that means she's
can
immature?
grown Muslim women have dolls?
If a grown man collects
For
figurines,
the
is he
cameras,
immature?
can grown
Is he
Muslim men
immature?
and women have dolls?
Is he immature?
Can grown Muslim men and women have
Is
dolls?
a man that collects figurines
Can
immature?
grown Muslim men and women have dolls?
The
The
point
answer
here-
is no.
the point
okay?
here is it's an
now,
assumption you're
to help
making.
you, the answer is no.
It's an
So
assumption
therefore,
you're making.
if Aisha was having dolls, she wasn't a grown Muslim woman. Easy peasy.
What?
You can
What are you talking about?
determine. Prove that, please. Prove that, please. That's the problem.
Prove that she's immature.
So the issue
Okay,
still
let me ask you a
remains
question. If a man collects
because
figurines, does that mean he's
is he a
immature?
Muslim? Because
he-
it
whether
determines.
he's Muslim or not
I
doesn't
never
determine
made
whether
the
he's
case
mature or
that
immature.
immaturity was synonymous with collecting dolls. I am telling you that she was a child. Because children can play with dolls as Muslims, but adults cannot.
Who said that?
Therefore,
Where's your proof?
if
Where's your
Muhammad,
proof?
if
Where's your
Muhammad
proof?
instituted,
Where's your proof
for example,
that an adult can't play with dolls?
Islam is an iconoclast religion.
No, bring me proof. I
Iconoclast
don't wanna hear you.
religions
I don't wanna
do
hear- I
not
don't
like
wanna hear
any
you.
kind of idols or images, right?
I don't wanna hear
Now,
presidential
that is
statement.
why,
I
for
wanna hear
example,
proof.
Muhammad
Proof.
had no
Bring me a
statues in his
hadith.
house. That is why.
Bring me a hadith that prevents Muslim adults
the hadith
from
where
playing with
Muhammad
dolls.
goes into the Kaaba and destroys the idols
Idols.
of the adult
So a big
pagans,
idol
right?
of a
So
god, of a fake
Muhammad
god is the
destroyed
same
them
as
because
playing
he
with
is
dolls.
against. Yes,
Come on.
exactly,
No,
absolutely.
bring me where,
because he's
bring me
against
where
images.
adults are
That is
prohibited
why
from
in
playing with
Islamic
dolls.
households you can only have calligraphy as art
really?
and not images
Really?
and not statues.
So where's
right?
dolls?
There you
Dolls.
go.
We're going back to dolls.
And dolls are
Prove
images
it.
and statues.
Prove it.
So
Where's the hadith?
I am still waiting
Where's
for
the
you.
hadith?
Please show
Where
me
is the
how
hadith?
Abu Bakr observed
Where
a change
is
in
the
Aisha
proof?
physically.
Where is the evidence?
Show me how he
Where
observed
is
a
the
change in her
evidence?
thinking and how he observed a change in her mental capacity. Please show me this thing.
Please, baseless claims again and
No,
again.
they were your claims.
Simply- no,
See,
no, you
I have a
made a
very good
claim-
memory,
wait.
so I can remember
You
the things
made a
that you
claim
said.
that
Now, you made three
Muslim
criteria,
adults aren't allowed
but
to play
I
with dolls.
finally got
Bring
you
me
to the
the
point.
hadith.
I got you to the point
Bring
where
me
you
the
were
proof.
able to admit that Abu Bakr had criteria for Aisha.
Bring me
Now,
the proof.
I want you to please evidence this criteria.
We will
What
move on
changed?
once you bring proof.
What changed
Once
that
you
Abu Bakr
bring
see
proof.
in a
Once you bring
6-year-old
evidence.
that
We're not
allowed
gonna
him
carry
to
on without
determine?
making blatant statements.
Don't worry, you guys can always run. I stand
Evidence,
still.
evidence.
Now,
I'm standing
I am
still,
still
mate.
waiting for you.
I'm not running anywhere.
Awesome
Don't worry
job.
about that.
Let's see how long you can stay here. Now, I'm still waiting for you. Show me the criteria that determines what change Abu Bakr saw in Aisha physically.
Are you going to bring the
Let's
evidence
start there.
for your claim? No,
Let's start there.
Let's start at your claim.
What changed?
Let's start at your
No,
claim.
don't forget. I am
Let's
still
start
trying to
at
evidence
your claim.
exactly why you think it's okay
You
to
made
marry
a claim.
9-year-olds.
Okay, no.
Because now
okay.
you
Are
cannot
done?
have
Are
any
you done?
problem with pedophiles.
Okay, let
Because
me talk.
effectively you are a pedophile supporter. Now, please tell me.
That's not true.
Yes, you are.
That's
Yes, you are.
That's not true.
Yes, you are. You are a pedophile supporter.
Where did I say that?
You're a pedophile supporter. In your claims.
See,
your
you have to
claims.
run away.
Your claims are
What
saying.
claim did I make?
Your
What claim
claims
did I
are
make?
saying that it is okay to marry a 6-year-old as long as you can determine that she is physically, mentally mature. Now,
firstly, I
a
never said it. I
pedophile
never said it like that.
can make the same claims, right?
Firstly,
So I'm still waiting for you
let
to
me
tell me
clarify.
exactly how it is okay,
It is
in the
okay.
6th century
It is
or 7th
okay
century, sorry,
for marriage.
to marry a 6-year-old
It is okay
and
for
it has sex with a
consummation of
9-year-old.
marriage to happen when adulthood is reached. Simple.
Okay,
That is
now,
my claim.
again,
Now going back
please
to your
showcase
claim.
to me
No,
how these are determined.
No.
Because
We're
you have
going back
made
to
a
your
blanket
claim now.
statement. For example, I agree that Muhammad was an adult when he was married. I agree that Khadija was an adult when she married to Muhammad, right?
Where's your proof?
Based
Where's your
upon
proof?
their ages
1 second, where's
and
your
the
proof
fact that they
Khadija
were
was
human
mentally
beings.
mature?
The fact that,
Where's your proof Khadija's mentally
do you
mature?
recall how they met?
Yes, I do.
Okay,
You tell me.
now, do you remember what Khadija was doing before they met?
Yes.
A very successful tradeswoman.
Right.
I'm going to say that you need some level of maturity to be able to account for staff, account for trade routes, source materials. No one is popular in up in Syria and sell those things to people,
You know what's-
gain a
you know
profit,
what's funny?
and then be able
So you're
to
saying she's
reinvest that
mentally
back in their
mature?
business and then be capable of doing more business
So you're
with
saying
that.
she's mentally
So I'm
mature
going to
because
say
of
that those criteria show me
Okay, great,
that she
great.
has
Let me
good
respond to that. Let me
people
respond to that.
skills,
Let me respond to
good
that.
judgments,
Right.
good accounting skills,
Right.
good ability to be able to barter and trade with other people, and also a good eye for hiring talents.
That's
So
fine.
those are my criteria for
That's fine.
Khadija.
I'm gonna
Now,
respond to- no,
when
no,
it
let
comes to
me respond to that. Come on,
Aisha,
you
at the
spoke
age of 6, please tell me what physical, mental maturity did Abu Bakr see in her?
Are you gonna let me talk? Are you gonna let
You
me
had
talk?
to talk about my points. So
I am-
please,
the first point
when
you made-
Aisha was 6,
Yes.
show me what Abu Bakr observed in her that indicated to him
Yes,
that
I
she
heard
was
your point,
physically
I heard
ready
your
for
points, I heard
marriage.
your points.
I'm
The
waiting
first
for you.
point- First point you made was that Khadija was mentally mature.
So Khadija is an easier point because she's
No,
not
no,
9.
I'll get to- no,
right?
that was the first
but
point. That
Aisha's
was the
hard
first point.
because she is 9. All right.
First, I'm going
So,
to show you
at
double
the end of
standards,
this, you're going
and
to
then
have
I'll
to
get the
admit
second point.
that marrying a
I will
9-year-old
get
is
to the
wrong.
second point. Don't worry
Sorry,
about that.
marrying
Don't
a
worry about
6-year-old is wrong, and having sex
this
with a
man-
9-year-old
okay,
is even
okay,
worse.
let me respond, let me
Okay?
respond.
Now, if you agree with
Wait,
that,
wait.
then you're good. If you disagree with that, then you're a pedophile supporter.
Okay.
Ask him, what's the critique
Wait,
based on?
1 second.
Oh, please, come in. I love taking all of you on. Come in.
Let's
Come in.
address this point. I know just
Homeboy,
something
come
you
in.
said.
So let me cook you
Let me
too.
address-
Come in.
He wants to
Let me cook you as well. Please come in.
He doesn't like accountability.
Come in.
20 minutes ago, he made the claim for someone to be mentally mature, they have to go through a schooling system.
That's
and now
not what I
asked
said.
him, wait. Now I asked him,
That's the one I
how
said.
do you know Khadija was mentally mature when she married the Prophet? He said, because she ran a successful business. So you're telling me she didn't go through the schooling system, which was your criteria to begin with.
Now
your criteria has changed to she ran a successful business.
That proves to me
so
that you weren't listening.
That shows.
So when
that
I
you're not
mentioned the
consistent.
criteria
You don't
of
have
the modern
criteria.
day,
You do
I
not
told
have
you that
criteria.
a determiner.
That is not the modern day criteria.
A determiner
Which modern
is
day
completing
book says
schooling.
that criteria
So
for
that's the
mental
issue.
maturity is the
Now
schooling system.
you are
That means all the
assuming
people that don't
that
go
I
through school are not
said
mentally
that you
mature.
had to go
What?
to school to be mature. Therefore, if you didn't
Many-
go to school
many
in the 7th
successful
century,
businessmen
you were
did not
mature.
go through the schooling
Again.
system.
That is not my point.
Elon Musk,
You,
many-
that's a lie. Elon
Okay,
Musk
sorry,
went
not
to
Elon Musk.
university. That's a lie.
Not Elon
so
Musk,
calm
but
down.
many businessmen did not go through the schooling
You
system.
are dodging the
That's
points.
how they became successful businessmen. That doesn't mean they're not.
You're dodging the points.
Come on,
Again,
man.
I made a criteria for the modern day.
Come on.
Khadija lives in the 7th century. So that's
Okay,
my
so what
criteria
was
for her.
the
Now,
Okay, so
when
your
it comes to
criteria-
Aisha, 6 years old, show me the physical criteria Abu Bakr had. Please, I'm waiting for you.
Your criteria
It's the same
for modern
question.
day and for the 7th
Is-
century is both wrong. They're both
That's
false.
incorrect. I am still waiting for
It
you.
is.
Please tell me, how can a father know in the 7th century that his 6-year-old daughter is physically mature? I am still waiting for that answer. Please,
you've just made
I am
racist
waiting
claims.
for the answer.
I told you he knows his daughter.
So,
He knows.
awesome. He knows his daughter. And then what physical changes did he see taking
one
places
second.
in a malnourished 6-year-old desert Arab? Please tell me.
Prove she was malnourished. Prove it.
Okay, so when she was married to Muhammad,
No. That happened
At
after
6
you said
years
she was
old.
she was malnourished at 6.
oh,
so prove it.
my apologies.
Malnourished
When,
at 6.
when she was getting ready to be married to Muhammad,
Malnourished at 6, prove it.
her mother said that she was too skinny, so she had to be fattened up.
Right.
Do you know
At
what
6?
her mother gave her
At 6.
to be fattened up?
Okay.
Do you know what she gave her?
Tell me.
Okay. Now,
First
gentlemen,
make a point and then find me the hadith
when
and
we want to,
evidence.
gain weight, we have a high protein diet, high in fats, right? To help us gain weight, right? Her mother gave her dates and cucumbers. Dates and cucumbers. Dates are mostly sugar and cucumbers are mostly water. Those two things are not going to have you gain weight. It showcases to you the severe lack of calories they had in that day if the best thing that they can come up with to gain weight is dates and cucumbers.
So first
Right?
you made a claim she
So,
was malnourished at 6.
I am still waiting for
Bring
you.
the evidence.
I am still waiting
Bring
for
the
you.
evidence. Bring
That
the
was
hadith.
my evidence just
Show the
now.
hadith.
Now I'm waiting
Show the
for you.
hadith.
You have shown me
Show the
0
hadith.
hadiths.
I can
You've
make
shown me
a
no
basis
hadiths.
claim as well and
So
say,
I
this is
will
what
show
happened
you
without
hadith
showing you the
once
hadith.
you show me hadith.
Show me the hadith.
I will show
No,
you a
'cause your
hadith
claim
when
came
you
first,
show
so
me
you show
one.
the hadith
Nope,
first.
you've made many
Show the
claims
hadith.
and show me no hadith.
Show the hadith.
Now, any one of you can easily look it up. Come in if you want. I'll cook you as well. If you want. Come in.
He claims to be Christian.
Come
right?
in. I'll cook you too.
He claims
Come
to
in.
be Christian, right?
Come in.
So my question for you is,
Okay.
what is it?
So, since you're here,
I'm talking, bro.
okay,
This guy right.
you are here
No,
to
I'm
help him.
scared.
Now,
Doesn't let you
here's the
scared.
deal.
I don't need
So,
help.
your friend over here
Bro,
said
I'm
that your
speaking.
friend over here
I
said
wipe the floor
that
with
when
your
you are in the
You
7th
need this
century,
proof, though.
your
You
father
got no
is capable of
confidence in
determining when you can
I
get
let you
married.
talk and he
Now,
didn't talk, okay?
according to
What's
him,
his name?
Abu Bakr says, or he said that Abu Bakr observed physical and mental changes in Aisha in order to determine that she was ready to get married. I hope you agree with this point. Now, I want to know, please, what are the physical changes, that's a nice shirt, what are the physical changes that Abu Bakr observed in Aisha and the mental changes that he observed in her to determine that she was ready as to get
He
married?
brings claims.
I know he's trying to dodge my point. innit?
I'm still waiting.
All he does is
I'm
dodge
still
points.
waiting. I'm still waiting because you're here to help him. His point, again, I will
help.
repeat.
I finished your.
Well, you let him in.
I showed
so
you
that's the
double
point.
standards.
You haven't
You literally
addressed
have
the
two
point.
different standards for mental
all I
maturity.
can see
I
is that
mean-
you like marrying
No,
9-year-olds.
that's
So
not
you're a
true. That's
pedophile
not true.
supporter.
That's not true.
That's all I can see.
Can I talk?
That's the issue.
Can I talk?
So
Maybe you're a pedophile
talk?
supporter.
I hate pedophiles.
Maybe you
and
are.
that's why
That's why you
if
keep projecting
anybody
onto others.
marries a
That's why you
9-year-old,
keep
marries a
projecting onto
6-year-old,
others.
and that's to a
Maybe you're a
9-year-old,
pedophile.
they can go and burn in
Maybe
hell.
you're a pedophile
If-
supporter, but I'm not.
Hear me clearly.
Don't project
If
your inner
anybody
feelings
marries a
onto others.
6-year-old
Can I talk?
and that's to a
Don't do that.
9-year-old,
That's what
they
it
can
is.
go and burn in hell.
I don't know what
You
your
heard me, right?
search engine is
You
at.
heard me.
I don't
You
know,
heard
though.
me. You heard me.
You're the real
Now,
specialist.
with you.
You're the real
Again, I'm
There
waiting
he
for
goes
you.
again.
You came in here to help
Let me
him.
know what you're-
You came in here to help him. So, homeboy, stare me in the eyes.
Let me talk.
Stare me in the eyes. Now, your boy here had a point. He said that Abu Bakr observed changes physically and mentally in Aisha to determine that she was ready to get married. can you please help your friend here because he couldn't tell me what those changes were. Do you know what they were by any chance?
Okay, the physical would also be easy because that would be puberty. When it comes to the mental,
At 6.
when did she get married? She got married at 9 years old. She
No,
got be
at
throttled.
6.
She got be throttled. At
She was married at 6 and Constitution at
Do you know what
9.
throttle means?
Sorry?
Do you know what betrothal means?
I can't hear you,
Do you know
sorry.
what it means to be betrothed?
Betrothed.
Betrothed, yes.
It's betrothed, my friends. Betrothed is
Do
the
you know,
word.
do you know what it means?
Betrothed, yes. But
What does that mean?
To be put forward to be married. effectively.
Okay.
Now,
So was that
she was married at 6.
Was that a
And Muhammad had sex with her at
Why
9.
is he talking again?
So, can you please tell me?
This guy's
No,
historical.
again,
This
I'm
guy- look,
no.
he's historically
I'm waiting for
he's
you.
historically
Please
literate.
tell me
He's not
what
consistent,
criteria
and his
that Abu
critique
Bakr
is based
saw
on
in order to
modernism.
determine
It's not based
if
on Bible.
supposedly
Do you know
that
why?
Aisha
In the
was
Bible,
ready
it
at
doesn't
6 to
say
get
nothing
married.
about age limit.
You're running
When
to the
Jesus Christ
Bible,
existed,
but the Bible
where
tells
girls
you
get
very
married at
clearly that people did not get married at
Can I
6.
ask a question?
I am very sorry.
Are you scared of me?
So again,
You look like you're
I am
scared.
waiting for
You
you
look like
to
you're
answer my
scared.
question.
Are you scared of me?
You're the one raising
Can I
your
ask a
voice.
question?
I'm the one who is calm. So normally when you're scared and back into
Can
a
you ask
corner,
a question?
you
Scared of
raise
me?
your
It looks
voice
like you're
and you
scared.
start gesticulating a lot.
Because you are going
So
from one point to
look
another.
me in the eye and please help him
He
explain
doesn't
to me.
say. He doesn't say.
No.
He's not scared.
I'm still waiting for
He
you.
doesn't- he's
Your
shocked.
friend here
What do you
said
think?
that supposedly
Lucky.
when you
Lucky.
were
You're
6
talking
years
about
old,
Christopher.
you were
You're
capable
hypocrite.
of
He
getting
doesn't
married.
believe in the
And the
Bible.
reason
He
that you
doesn't
can get
Christianity.
married is because
he
Abu
was
Bakr
a
saw
hypocrite.
changes
He's a waste
in
of time.
Aisha.
He's
He
a
saw
hypocrite.
changes
I'm
that were
willing to
physical
engage you.
and
Can I
mental.
talk?
Awesome job.
I'm willing to
Now,
engage you. Can I talk?
please, before you join the conversation, I want you to pick up on his
This guy-
points.
this
Do
guy-
you agree? Okay, fine.
This guy's a
Here's what we'll
fool.
do.
He's scared
Do
to
you
talk about the
agree?
Bible.
Do you agree with the
He's scared
points?
to talk about the Bible.
In
He's
the
scared of
eyes,
Bible.
please.
Why are you
In
scared of the
the
Bible?
eyes,
You
please.
know when Jesus Christ existed?
Look me in the
Big
eyes,
girls
please.
were getting married at that time.
Look me in the
Why
eyes,
did
please.
Jesus not say nothing about
Again,
that?
look me in the
Why
eyes,
did your
please.
God not say
So,
something about it?
I am still waiting
Why
for
is the
you.
Bible silent on it?
Look me in the
Because
eyes,
your
please.
church fathers come around
When
70
it
years.
comes to the
Just
point,
go back 500 years
when
ago.
it comes to the
This
point
guy's
that
historically
unfortunately for
illiterate.
you,
He's not
that Muhammad
Christian.
supposedly
He's a liberal
offered Abu
atheist.
Bakr
A liberal
had
atheist
criteria
Christian.
for Aisha.
You're liberal, just
Can
admit
you
to it.
please tell me
Admit to it, you're liberal.
what criteria
What is
Abu
the critique
Bakr
based
had
on?
for
What is the
Aisha
critique
to
based on?
determine that at
What is
6
the
years
critique based
old
on?
she should get married?
What is the critique?
I am
I'm a Muslim.
asking.
I'm a
I will
Muslim.
build it up
What's
for
the
you.
critique based on?
I will build it up for
criteria
you.
is-
Now,
hypocrite.
I am still waiting
someone
for
has
you.
to go through the
All I
schooling
can see is that
system
the
to be
both of
mature.
you are pedophile
Wallahi,
supporters.
wallahi,
The both
yes.
of you believe
Wallahi,
that you can
yes.
marry
Because we
6-year-olds.
talk,
That's
because
my
he's
problem.
scared, because
I
he's
am
Christian.
still waiting for you.
He can't.
Show me the criteria
Can I speak?
that Abu Bakr
Can I
used
speak?
to determine that Aisha at 6
Don't
years
waste time,
old.
guys.
No.
He's a grifter.
Stay right here.
He's a grifter.
Stay right here.
He's scared of the Bible. He's scared of the Bible. Can I
Don't worry
speak?
about it.
How long have I asked you to speak for now?
Please stop yelling like
Can I
a
land
coward.
this point?
You're yelling like a mouse in the corner. Again.
Are you mentally insane?
So far I'm okay,
You
but
wasted
you're a
time,
pedophile, so you might have problems.
He's a liberal. He's
Were
a
you
liberal.
molested
You're not
as a child?
Christian. You're a
Is
liberal.
there a reason
That's why you like
why
talking
you
about
are
pedophiles.
Why does
sympathetic
the
to
Bible speak
pedophiles?
about
Maybe
it?
you are.
Why
do you keep
are you
projecting onto
sympathetic to
others?
pedophiles?
Were you dropped as a child?
That's what I want to know.
Do you have parents?
Were you molested as a child? That's what I want to know. And if you were, I hope you weren't.
So wait a second.
My
So what about
friend,
Isaac?
do you
What about
agree that
Isaac?
you
Is
can
Isaac a
marry a
pedophile?
9-year-old?
Wait, is
Do you
Isaac a
agree you can
pedophile?
marry 6-year-olds?
Is Prophet Isaac a pedophile?
So,
is Prophet
again,
Isaac your prophet
according
a pedophile?
to you,
How's the record
according
of
to your
American?
friend, sorry, he says
Bro,
that Abu
I'll let you
Bakr
talk, I
had
can talk to it.
criteria.
I'll let you
I
talk, I
need
can
you to
talk to
answer
it.
my
He doesn't
question.
He's scared.
So,
Are you with
he
this guy?
says
He's scared of the Bible.
you're raising your voice
address
and
a
my
single
voice is still the
Well, are you
same.
wasting time?
You sound like a
This guy
mouse in the
here is a
corner.
grifter,
So,
he's a liberal,
again,
he's an atheist,
and you're a
he doesn't know the
pedophile.
Bible,
That's your
he
problem.
doesn't talk
You
the
believe
Bible.
that you can marry 6-year-olds and have sex with them.
Why are you scaring me?
You are a
Why are
depressed
you
boy.
scaring me?
Now,
Why are you
I am
scaring
so
me?
scared
Let
of
me
you
talk.
that I'm looking you in the
Let me
eyes.
talk.
And I'm asking you this question.
Hey,
Oh, no, don't look away.
You're a grifter.
No.
Let me talk then.
Stay.
So let me talk.
Now, listen
He
to
doesn't
me.
let anyone talk. He
You're
doesn't
a
Can you-
grifter. This guy's a grifter.
Eyes,
You're a grifter.
eyes.
Everyone here can
Please
see it. You're
tell
scared.
me,
You're a grifter.
what's the criteria? Don't go. All right,
Bring
boy,
a single
come back.
evidence.
So again,
Okay,
your
I'm only gonna
criteria,
carry on
please.
if you bring
I
a
am
single
waiting for
evidence
your
for any of your
criteria
claims.
to please tell
Bring
me
evidence for your claims.
what Abu Bakr saw and observed. Come in. Come in.
Why you guys keep
Brother,
Why do you keep coming
please
back?
come in.
Actually,
Brother,
second time in the
if
UK.
you want to debate me, come right
There's no
here.
point. You
Don't
lost.
run from me.
You're 0 for 4,000,
Okay,
bro.
great job.
You
Make
know
me
we
all
record
for 4,001. So get your skinny butt over here and come debate me. Come debate me, brother. Brother, come debate me. Okay, so, brother, come debate me. I am right here. Wait, don't go. Come back.
Listen.
Where you going? Get back here.
Bring a
You
stool,
said you wouldn't run.
Bring in evidence.
You said
Bring
you
in
wouldn't
evidence.
run,
I'm not
and you're running.
I was walking.
You're running away from me.
I was walking.
You're running away from me.
Bring evidence.
You're running in slow mo. Stay there, I'll come get you. Stay there, I'll come get you. So, you said that supposedly Muhammad Abu Bakr has criteria. What is the criteria that Abu Bakr used to determine at 6 years old that she was ready to be married? So you're gonna run? All right, you then, come. Get over here. Get over here. Get over here. Hey, get over here. Get over here. I'm right here. Come debate me. I have lost. Let me lose again. Come. Get over here.
You know, Mark Twain,
Get over here.
he said never debate idiots because they'll think
Get over here.
beat you with experience.
I'm still waiting for you. Get over here.
More experience in
Get over here, my friends. Okay, then please take your nonsense comments and enjoy on your flight back home, okay? But next time, if you ever come here again and tell me that I lost the debate and you can defeat me, my friend, I am right here. You made a claim, please get right here and debate me. Go ahead. Who's next, huh? I'm good. I am home. You need to go home. Now, when you go home, drink some milk and get back here, come debate me, okay? Awesome job, my friend. Huh? The actual dates. Bring me back some when you come back. Absolutely. So, gentlemen, I was debating a bunch of young men who are unfortunately deceived and deluded. So, they are of the mind that in the 7th century it was okay to marry a 6-year-old because she was physically and mentally ready. I asked you to show me what physical and mental maturity looked like for a 6-year-old in the desert, and they can't quite tell me. It changed from having your periods to having pubic hair to your father know you inside and out and determining when you can get married, but those were not very, very well determined, unfortunately. You had things like in the Hadith tradition, where it tells you that Aisha played with dolls. Now, this is okay for a child, but because fundamentally Islam is an iconoclast religion, having supposed like statues or figures in your house are potentially haram, at least according to the tradition in the Sunnah from the Sirah and the Hadith.
Muhammad
not really in the
married
Quran.
Aisha at the age of 6 or
Now,
5, not even 14.
at least he disagrees. But unfortunately for them, they are bound to the Hadith and he is not. So, from the Hadith, they had to be able to justify it, and they could not. Now, to clarify my points, I was comparing the modern context by which we determine physical and mental maturity as indicators. For example, an indicator of mental maturity in the modern day is completing the schooling system. It is not a hardcore determiner, but it's an indicator. That is why, for example, we allow people who reach 16 to engage in certain kinds of activities. That's why, for example, certain jobs only hire you if you have some level of education, because they're tying it to a certain skill set and a maturity level. That's why and how we determine it in this modern day. Now, I want to know the same thing for the 7th century. What are the criteria by which you can determine if somebody is mentally and physically mature at 6? And they couldn't tell me that, implying that there is none, and the behavior of engaging in activity of that nature with somebody who is 6 and 9 is wrong. And if you are, lastly, the best example for mankind, and you're doing those things, that's a very poor base, or poor ceiling, if you will, to for your followers to follow afterwards. That's all.
Would you say there's any major points of contention or agreement on anything like if you can confer on any points in that debate with that guy? Or
no, because unfortunately he realized where I was taking him with my line of questioning. And as a result, he wanted to go elsewhere because he realized that I had him admit a number of things, and those things I had him admit, unfortunately, taken down the route where he is justifying child abuse. So no.